Hey everyone, I'm Xonani. Welcome to my new video. In this video, I will use soft pastels for the first time. I will use the set of 70 soft pastels from Mary's, which is kind of a subsidiary of Lightwish. I think these pastels were kindly gifted to me from Lightwish to try them out. Because I've never tried soft pastels, I was curious. I've seen artists creating beautiful art with those pastels. As I said before, the set comes with 70 colors on this point as I opened it, and this is a classical me fail. I thought this yellows, reds and greens are all of the colors, and I started swatching them and was kind of disappointed that there are no blues and darks in this set. I didn't notice that this is only half of the colors you get with this set. I didn't count the colors. So I swatched the first half. The pastels are very soft, but not too soft, but also not too hard and scratchy. They are a bit crumbly, but I think this is what soft pastels do. And it's a mess. Not a surprise. On the pastels, there are no color names and no pigment informations, no light fast informations. And then, as I looked for a little printed information card, paper, or something like that, in the box, I found the second layer of colors. Yes, blues and darks and browns, and also a few neon colors. This is awesome. I have to say I was happily surprised. In the set there are 2 whites and 2 blacks. This is a good thing. I think you get an awesome range of colors here. And as a soft pastel newbie, I can tell you the blending with my finger is so satisfying. How soft the pigments can be swept into each other. I think only for playing around with colors with your hands in an abstract artwork can be very stress reducing. But this is not what I would like to do today. Today I want to know how soft pastels work and what can I do with them in my regular workflow. How can I use them in my artworks? To get to know them, I wanted to try to draw with only pastels one of my creatures. I love details, I have to say, and I love to define things. I love small patterns. I think these chunky soft pastels are not made to draw fine details with them. This will be a challenge for me, I think. I will start with a softer background and then go on top with more and more layers. That's the plan until I come to the limits where I would go into details normally. I used a few sponges and stuff which I got for my pen pastels, which I never used so far. It's a shame. But you can also use tissues or your fingers. Let me tell you about my experience here. First of all, it felt very relaxing and I started with no pressure to get something awesome in the end. I just wanted to freely play around for fun. That's the best way to get to know a new art supply. A new medium. Then I sketched a creature on my background and filled up all the background space in here to let the creature pop out the dark. It's a very intuitive medium and it takes not a lot of time to see something on your paper. Other medias take more time in the whole process. You don't have to wait here for something to dry and stuff like that. You can always go on with your colors and work in many multiple layers. You can mix your colors on the paper wonderfully. And the soft look is so nice and it's so fast. It's definitely a medium for impatient persons and very therapeutic, I think, for me. Of course, I've seen realistic pastel drawings which are amazing. There are also pastel pencils on the market which are more thin, so you can go more into details. And I've seen artists who combined soft pastels with colored pencils in their art. This is also a cool thing, and I think you can use these chunky pastels very good for landscapes with weeds and flowers and clouds. Meanwhile, I came to the conclusion that I will use soft pastels, these chunky soft pastels, for nice backgrounds in the future and for soft lights and shadows on top of an artwork. I think I like them more than oil pastels for this function because they are more dry and not as smudgy. This little test picture here inspired me for a lot of things I could do with them in my mixed media artworks. I have to experiment more with them, what is possible, and I'm looking forward to do this. A friend of mine recommended me using fixative in between for the lower layers. She's using soft pastels a lot in her art, but you have to be careful. Soft pastels change the color a bit. It gets a bit darker if you use fixative on them. That means it's better to not use fixative on your finished art pieces. The colors will change a lot, so be careful. All in all, I think soft pastels will not be the medium which I will use in obsession all the time. For me, and I only speak for myself here, they are too uncontrollable. I like crisp lines here and there, sometimes many details, and I don't like the mess. It's a huge mess working with pastels. This don't have to be a downside. It can also be fun, also for people who work very loose with color and shapes and also textures. Pastels can make awesome textures. I won't use them only for themselves. I will definitely use them for special effects in my mixed media paintings and drawings. And for this, it's a good to have, I think, for me. Now I will say you something about this set of soft pastels, my opinion about them in particular. I think you get an awesome range of colors for a good price. They feel soft but not too smudgy and too soft. The colors are rich and vibrant. They blend wonderful, and all in all, I think it's a great product. I can't say something negative here. And about my creating experience with them. The only tiny thing is they have no color names, no informations about anything. There's printed something on the pastels, it's in Chinese, perhaps it's the color name, I don't know. It's a fun product. I link them in my description for you if you are interested in them. How you can see, I also used colored pencils here and there to create crisper lines. It's no problem to combine soft pastels with colored pencils, but you have to use a suitable paper. I have here a pastel paper from Canson. It's a good paper with a bit of a structure. But for pastels, I would recommend a more rough paper. The more structure, the more layers you can draw, like pastel matte paper, which feels more like a sanding paper. There are different brands which have paper like this on the market. Then you can draw also more layers of colored pencils on top. Here in my test piece, I came to the point, to a limit somehow, where it was hard to layer the pencil on top of the pastels. I think this was because of the paper. There's more you can do with a very good paper. I think this all is also a question of your experience and knowledge with this medium, to know what paper you like to use and what you need, what colored pencils are working good with them. I'm not on this point yet for expert recommendations, to be honest. I have no plan at all. All the things I'm telling you here is about my experience of this one drawing, and of course also my experience of a lot of other products and medias I used so far as a professional artist. This is what I can tell you about this product and Soft Pastels, and I think I had a great experience with them. So I think this little drawing became cute in the end. It was a lot of fun to try out these Soft Pastels. Thank you, Lightwish, for sending me these. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, also subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support. Also, a big thank you to my patrons. You are amazing. Then see you next time and have an awesome week, my friends. Yours, Xunani.